Hi, I'm Ben Sherlock.
I'm Luke Jamieson.
And this is Funny Talks with Ben and Luke. We welcome you, and we hope you have a good time.
Sexuality is obviously not anyway, but all it's a choice and things like that. Obviously, would that be classed as a choice because it's how you perceive to kind of categorize yourself?
Well, yeah, but it's categorizing yourself, but based on how you feel. It's a choice to identify as gay, but that's based on the fact that you're attracted to men naturally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But when it's there's always people fucking people arguing and things that's a choice, that's not a choice and things. So some of it I'm just well, no, it's not a choice, It's it's just how.
Well, it's all based on, now that everything's become a wider spectrum of things.
Something like that, would you say, well, it is a choice because it's how they choose to identify themselves without any gender?
Well, how you identify is a choice, but that would be based on things that are out of your hands, just based on literally how you feel about yourself. So, I mean, it literally said there that they came to terms with their gender identity as part of when they were in the audition process to play the character in Billions. Do you know what I mean? So I think...
I don't like it, but...
I mean, it's not something I've ever been through, so I can't tell you.
Joking.
I couldn't tell you what it's like, but I don't think it's entirely a choice to just renounce gender.
I think some people have kind of done it as getting on a bandwagon kind of thing, though. Not saying all, but I think some have to kind of differentiate themselves, but kind of almost make a name for themselves that way.
Well, I guess when Billions came out, and it was we've got a non-binary character now, isn't that cool? We've got a non-binary actor playing the role. You could sort of see that as it's sort of pandering, and it's sort of become famous as the only non-binary person on TV. But then you've got to also think, because there's so many people who either don't understand what being non-binary is. Don't.
Do you want to be non-binary? Because you could be the first podcaster to be non-binary. Well, probably not. But...
Well, no, I don't want to be because I'm not non-binary.
Tough.
What we're trying to say.
I've made the decision for you. Ask Ben.
Yeah, all right, I'll get rid of it. I'll get rid of it. Oh, not at all. Oh, fuck it. It's not selling for millions, is it?
Maybe if I put both on you, isn't it?
That was our original list of
If you donate 1,000 or more, you'll get this.
My DNA and make a clone of me. And then just lock me in a room and listen to me.
And fuck it.
Could do.
You could do
Would a clone have the memories of me? If someone cloned me to be a sex clone, I don't know why they want me for that, but would it? No?
You just reorganize the tissues.
Oh, I thought it was don't say these things. I was why not? To fucking blow your nose with your Tampax ways or whatever you're doing.
You talking about tissues?
I know, but you said they were fucking tampons.
I never... I said I make
Q-tips, sorry.
Q-tips, yeah. Tampons. I mean, I guess in a sense they are like tampons. But I don't leave them up there to collect the snot.
I'd have thought.
People don't put the tampon up there, wiggle it round a bit, and then pull it out. You don't know. That's not how tampons work. It's not. It's not for debate.
It's I was going to do that then. But I know there's the ones you can just put up, and it's got a little mouse's tail. It's out, so you go. Yeah, but you can get pads, can't you, as well?
They're not tampons.
They're just pads.
Yeah, you just
Stick them on?
Yeah, stick them
They're
on.
called pads. They're not like pads.
And they absorb.
What's better?
Some people use both.
It's your preference.
Oh.
That's fucking loud.
She's getting closer and closer to the fucking door.
Yeah, is the piano outside that fucking door? Right. Anyway.
It's okay, you're talented. Shut the fuck up.
We've gotten way late a bit, but we can bring this back to the original point where it's everyone was so much more reckless with how they talk about people back then. Where John Cleese would just whack on some blackface. Whereas now, people are introducing non-binary characters being very careful about the pronouns they use, or that kind of thing, which is probably a step in the right direction.
I taste those kids again.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, you've been chewing your gum for a half an hour.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, I'm trying to think of more examples, so it's not just John Cleese in blackface, because that's not the only bad thing that's ever happened. All those things.
Was pretty bad.
What?
Birth of a Nation.
Well, Birth of a Nation was bad. Well, Birth of a Nation wasn't a comedy that you can watch now, and just because it's literally an entire.
Well,
the whole thing's basically just
what was his name?
Propaganda against black people.
The guy that was in Non-Stop, and then he directed it.
So fucking
he was
Nate
like,
Parker.
I'm gonna call it Birth of a Nation, and then kind of get back at that kind of era at the time. But then it came out that he was a fucking rapist.
Yeah, the whole problem with Birth of a Nation.
Oh, nice one, mate.
Birth of a Nation was D.W. Griffith 100 years ago, using actors in blackface to sort of make black people look like rapists. They would come and after being acting all creepy about and it weren't even the black actors acting all creepy around these white women, and the white men had to come and save the white women from the rapey black men. So then this guy decides to retcon that with his own version of it.
Exactly.
And he turns out to be a black man who rapes.
I know. I was like, how? I'm not saying like the fucking guy proved a point, because he didn't. And we all know that. I mean, Bill Cosby's not helping either. I mean, there's so many examples. But, we're not saying that's what it is. That's the case at all.
Well, there's plenty of white rapists as well. So,
like the Welsh.
Yeah, there's Welsh guys. There were no black guys there. There's fucking 5 white guys trying to drag me back to their hotel room. So anyway, it's just very, very...
Kevin Spacey, rapist.
Attempted rapist. Did he rape him?
No.
He definitely molested.
Oh, yeah.
He put his hands down a lot of people's pants after buying them booze when they're like 15. So...
Where was his wife?
And he was white, so... I don't know. Has he been married this whole time?
I don't know. Like David... What, sorry?
But
was
only
it
just...
after it, though?
When the rape allegation came out, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he used that
I'm
to
gay.
be like, oh, by the way...
But not a paedophile.
He was like... He brushed it off as like... I don't remember it, but if I was drunk, it probably happened. Anyway, I'm gay, guys. So, should we get back to making movies? So, yeah, that was... his fucking video. Did you see that?
Yeah. It was like
Christmas.
But it was him in character.
In character's Frank. So
Yeah.
weird. And he's
From,
like...
House of Cards.
He's like, you all miss me, don't you? You don't believe.
But
what
he's there
they're
making
saying
like
about
Christmas
me."
dinner with his
Yeah,
fucking apron
his
on.
fucking apron on with like a picture of a Christmas tree on. I mean, Christ, really going for it.
No, you're right.
It was just unusual. It got something like
Amazing, yeah.
20 million views in 2 days, something like that, and that was over Christmas.
I'm gonna see how many dislikes it has.
That was how most families spent Christmas Day, just watching that fucking video. It's called "Let Me Be Frank," which is a funny pun to respond to your rape conviction with.
He's smiling there whilst going into court.
Well, maybe that's just a picture of him, not a picture of him actually at the court. There it is. Oh, it's only 9 million views.
Let me be frank.
What a delightful pun.
It's got more likes than dislikes.
What the fuck? 227,000 likes and 64,000 dislikes. To be fair, I did like it. I enjoyed watching it just to see
I'm gonna watch this
where the
later.
fuck he was. What are you doing?
Because I'm gonna watch that later because she talks about what she thinks about Kevin Spacey. I want to see what she thinks.
Oh yeah, she doesn't. I've heard I've read an article about it. Like I haven't seen that interview, but I've read it. It's not flattering.
It's not flattering.
No, it's not. Oh guys, give him a second chance. It's yeah, fuck him. He was always weird on the set. I'm so glad he's out and I'm the star.
I mean, he never tried to touch me.
Yeah, to have an adult and a woman. So double whammy of being safe from his advances. But I think it goes wider than even just the few who've come forward as well. Because my uncle's a hairdresser.
Thought you were gonna say something then.
No. No, he cuts, he styles old lady's hair, and one of his customers was saying that her grandson had been to visit the, was it the Old Vic, the theatre where Kevin Spacey was like the director of drama there or something like that
No idea. Did you do anything?
in London. Well, this kid and a bunch of his mates from school came up there
How old is he?
and were given a tour. This must have been when he was like 13 or 14. And Kevin Spacey was trying to hit on him and get on him while he was down there at the theatre. So and then he hasn't come forward, so there must be a load of people, probably for everyone, for Harvey Weinstein and all that, who just didn't want the hassle of coming forward. 'Cause you don't want that to be where your 15 minutes of fame come from. You know, you have an otherwise quiet life, but you're in the media for half an hour saying how Kevin Spacey tried to rape you. Like, you don't want that to be the whole story of your life.
No. I wouldn't anyway.
No. Although he never tried anything with either of us.
Oh.
He might have done with you. We'd met you. You seem to be as tight.
Well, 14-year-old me was 16 stone.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if I fucking would have wanted to.
You were
Moving
adorable.
on, wet trash.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's from Detroit, but
Well, he seems to like putting on accents when he's being weird, so
yeah,
maybe you would do being characters like Lex Luthor. when
I'd
he
be
was
like
raping.
Mac in with the PE teacher.
Oh yeah,
Where he's
because
kinda
his little shorts.
"Ooh, my thighs, my buns. Be like me, Kevin Spacey. Ooh, what's some of this?
He feels left out that Charlie got molested and he didn't. Oh, once again, free plug there for It's Always Sunny. If you haven't seen it,
Season
You definitely
finale is
should check it out.
exceptional.
So anyway, when something happens and someone says, "Oh, it was a different time," I feel like because it was, that's a perfectly valid excuse. As long as it's not distracting, you know, like if it's just one remark or one little thing, but on the whole, it's still a funny film or a fun or whatever the thing is. You know, like Eddie Murphy has a whole routine where it's quite homophobic. I think that's in Delirious, but the rest of Delirious is really funny.
Where he goes,
Where he's like, "I moved quickly."
he said something like, I'm quoting it, where are all the faggots at? And then nothing. And he's like, why do you think that is? Obviously, because that's when, like, not
AIDS was going around.
AIDS was going around or something.
And it was assumed that every gay man had it and was going to die. Or in one of them, that might have been in Raw, because I'm pretty sure in Delirious, he comes out and starts walking around. He's wearing leather pants, so I don't know why he proceeds to say
like down here.
Yeah, I don't know why he proceeds to say I don't want people looking at my ass. Because he comes out and says something like, "I like to move quickly so the face can look at my ass," something like that. And but he actually has apologized for that, and like that would have been the 80s, and then by the 90s he was saying, like, "I'm really sorry that I said those offensive things."
You know, that's all bullshit though.
I don't think it is. I think he sounded very sincere, because I think he'd gotten older and mature. Because if you bear in mind, when he was on like SNL and became like the biggest comedian in the world, he was only about 19 or 20 when that all started kicking off. So he's just really young and immature, and so I think he grew up and matured and got older and probably met some gay people and had frank conversations with them, and then regretted what he'd said and apologized for it. But you know, as long as the rest of Raw or the rest of Delirious or whatever it is isn't about that, and it's about, you know, is it more making him a welfare burger or it's like, "I'll make your burger better than McDonald's." This is a little squash little welfare burger. Or the ice cream truck.
It just smacks on the back of the head.
Yes, throws a shoe at him. Like Clint Eastwood, like.
Because he drops his ice cream, apparently.
And he picks it up again to eat it. And she's like, "Put it back on the floor." He's like, "I wasn't going to eat it." That's all really fun. I'll watch that. I'll just, skip over the slurs. Because you can't say it was a different time, because it's silly to think that just because an STD came about, everyone was suddenly turning against gay people and saying, "Oh, that's just disgusting. You're going to try and give me your AIDS." And that's sort of, a lot of that even continues to this day, where it's like, "Oh, if I meet a gay man, he's definitely going to try and fuck me," that kind of thing. That's kind of
One of our friends though.
Yeah, I know.
Who watches
saying
this as well.
But it was so stupid because he was literally saying all that. He's like, I just don't want gay guy trying to fuck me, man.
Because he met my brother and I was like,
yeah, literally like an hour ago.
Force his cock in your mouth.
And we're like, well, funnily enough, mate. Almost like a blue
You just
Peter
shook hands at one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, come on down. You just met a gay man. And he's like, oh, no way.
Is it him? Oh,
Like-
I think it's him.
Like, you've been punked. You met a gay man, and we didn't immediately say he was gay, and you didn't even know. But yeah, that just shows how stupid and ill-informed that is. Because he still assumes that if he was near a gay person, he'd immediately try and rape him, even though he was near a gay person. Not 1 hour earlier. He didn't try anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's... But because those were the thoughts back then, and no one knew any better because that's all that was being
I thought you meant
reported.
his mind. I was like, well, he's
No, I mean
22,
like...
23.
No, I mean like in the
That's
80s.
cultural difference.
It is, yeah, because he's from Cambodia, so they're not quite as progressive in terms of different sexualities over there as we are. And we're not even that progressive yet I don't mean we, I mean like the Western world. Still a long way to go. So
or even in wars, to be honest, because we kind of had our Hitler and then years later they had their Pol Pot.
Yeah, they're just all behind the times. Gonna wait another 70 years before that's when AIDS will hit them. That timeline doesn't work. It was only about 40 years later after Hitler.
Yeah.
So, and Pol Pot was what, 20 years ago?
I don't know. We'll get back on the show.
AIDS is coming soon. Watch out, Cambodia. But they'll also get Michael Jackson. They'll get their Michael Jackson around that time. So.
Cambodia, Michael Jackson.
So anyway, it's these really ill-informed ideas about gay people, but that's all people knew in the 80s. Now you can get better information, and you can be better informed. So if you choose to be ignorant,
What time are we on?
okay. Basically, I think that the excuse of it was a different time is valid because it was a different time and people weren't as informed previously as they are now. So you can get away with certain things being in older films than you could today because society was just different. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Thanks everyone for listening. We've just got a couple of quick shout outs.
Yeah, Matt, our producer, sound mixer and engineer from Soundback Recording Studios.
Follow them on Instagram, soundback.recording.studio. Also Spencer Cammayo, our trusty cameraman who's been filming us for the YouTube channel. You can find him on Instagram at Spencer Cammayo. Great photography whiz. If you want to hire him for weddings or whatever, he's great.
We've also got being brought to you by Gentleman Pictures as well, which is a production company we're part of as well with Spencer. You can go follow them on Instagram, and we've also got a YouTube channel, Gentleman Pictures, as well, and we usually put up a few projects every few months or something like that, so go give that a look as well, please.
And also the website, gentlemanpictures.com, where there's blog, videos, anything, posters. Also my own website, ben-sherlock.com, not bensherlock.com, don't go to that, that's some cunt from Cheshire. It's ben-sherlock.com. You can find videos of performances. You can download audio of stand-up routines for free, which I could have charged you for, but I've decided to be generous and give it to you for free, so you're welcome. And also, you can follow Luke on Instagram.
Yeah, at LukeJam17.
He's not 17. And he wasn't born in 2017. Also,
It was the only one I could get.
Also, we have the YouTube channel Funny Talks with
Fuck it,
Ben
I'm
and Luke
changing
that you can subscribe to, and you'll be able to see the episodes we post every week. So, thanks for listening. We hope to see you again. Well, we won't see you, but come back next week.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye. Thank you.